Alright, what's up guys? Frank the Gaming Tank here, and I've recently got back into making my YouTube videos. I was gone for a while, but I'm back at it now, and I wanted to start a new series on my channel if I could. I don't know when I'll put new episodes up, and I don't think it'll be every week or anything. Maybe once a month, every 2 weeks, something like that. But I wanted to do something called Gaming Memories. So that's what I'm going to call it, my Gaming Memories. So today's going to be episode number 1, and it's not going to be very long. It's just going to be a little short memory of things that throughout my life in video games. You know, I started playing video games when I was around 2 years old, and I've continued to play them up until today. So it's been a long time, and I've enjoyed them throughout the years. It's been my favorite pastime, my favorite hobby, and I've been through most console generations. I started right around the time of the NES up until now, 2021, so I've seen quite a few consoles come and go. I've played quite a few console games. You know, I've been through it all. So let's go ahead and get this episode started, and I hope you guys enjoy it. The first gaming memory that I wanted to talk about would be a game. It's multiple items, but mainly just one game I picked up one day. I can't remember exactly how old I was. Let's see, maybe it was sometime in the mid-90s, so I would have been somewhere around 8 to 10 years old. I had not too long before I had gotten a Super Nintendo for Christmas. We may talk about that on another gaming memory, because that was a very good year for me for Christmas that year. It was a second-hand Super Nintendo. And I'm from a very small town. I mean, back then we had absolutely no shopping centers. Well, we had a small local shopping center. It had a super dollar store, a local grocery store, a laundromat, and a small hometown video store. And even, like, the whole county didn't have any major stores or anything like that from where I'm from. Right, so the closest thing we had to us was some Walmarts. And back then, Walmart wasn't very big yet. You know, they were a popular store, but they weren't like they are today. And the closest Walmart and Kmart to us were at least 30 minutes away. And so in a town near me, they had just built a Super Kmart Center. And this was the biggest store I had ever seen. You know, at my age, you know, I go into small local stores. Even Walmarts back then were super small. So you'd go in there and you see this store and it's like, whoa, this is one store. And it's as big as a mall almost. This is crazy. You know, Kmart was pretty big back then. So anyway, every time when I was little, I always wanted to go to the electronics section when I went into a store like that. You know, if I went into a toy store or a Walmart or a Kmart, I wanted to go to the electronics and see the games, and a lot of times they would have demo units you could play of certain things. And at this particular Kmart, they had all kinds of things for gaming in there. That's the first place I played the Virtual Boy at, and seen a lot of games. Now, sadly, the store wasn't around long, because it wasn't too long after that Kmart got into some trouble and had to shut some stores down. But anyway, I picked up this right here. I'll show you just a minute what it is. It is a game I picked up that day. It was on clearance. They had this little clearance rack that would... It was like a little circular rack. It had different shelves on it, and you could kind of walk around it. They were like little baskets basically on a pole. You could kind of walk around and see it. And they had all kinds of stuff shoved in there in the clearance section. Well, the first thing I'll show you here isn't this one, because it's the main item for the day. One thing I got, and this is the original one that I had, but I no longer have the box for it. I picked up a Super Game Boy. And we had a Game Boy at the time. And we didn't have many games for it. Like I said, we usually got games secondhand. We didn't have a lot of... We almost never got games new back then. So I had my Super Game Boy here, and I thought that was really cool. I could play my old Game Boy games on my TV in slight color. So that was really neat. It was just a few dollars. It was in the clearance rack. So, but then the next item I found, and I had to beg my mom for these, and she broke down and got them for me because they were so cheap. This is a game that I had played with a friend before who had a Super Nintendo, and we would rent it sometimes from that local store, and I would watch him play because I was kind of young at the time it came out, and I would just watch him, and sometimes I would play it. But anyway, this game actually ended up becoming my favorite game of all time. And to this day, it still ranks as my favorite game of all time. I have not found anything in recent years that competes with it. And that game is Super Metroid. Now, this game, most people know it. Metroid just recently come out with a new game. This is not the original box. My sister actually bought me a newer complete copy. I do still have the original cartridge, but I didn't have the box anymore. It's lost over time. We moved a lot when we were kids to new houses and stuff, so I wasn't able to keep it. I lost a lot of my boxes and things and cases. But anyway, this game was so mysterious to me when I was a kid. I just loved it. Everything about it. The atmosphere, the graphics, the music, everything gripped me in this game like no other game had before. Ever. And it's still, nothing has ever gripped me like this. And I see all the memories in my head of the area where you go find new things. You find the X-ray vision and the scan visor, and you can scan and see hidden areas in walls, or you finally get the grapple beam and you can get out of the underground area back up to the top where the spaceship is at, and you can there's an area in Meridia to get into. You have to go through a glass tunnel, and you have to put a super bomb down and blow it up, and there's no way of knowing that. You just have to figure it out. But the game is laid out so well, and everything just flows together. There's no slow points really that much in the game. You may get lost once or twice here, but I mean, it's something you can go back to any day and just enjoy it. And I was super excited that day as a young child to get this game and bring it home, and I'm still playing it today. That's how much I love this game. And next to A Link to the Past, which is my second favorite game of all time, it's one of the best memories I ever had in video games. And it's just, I don't have enough words to explain the memories I have from playing this game. Growing up, I played a lot of games by myself. I grew up with my mom and two sisters mostly, and stuff like this, I would mostly play it by myself. Sometimes my sisters would play some games like Mario Kart and some fighting games with me and stuff, but I would really get into games like this and just the action adventure games and stuff, and just I loved them. And I later discovered RPGs and got into those, and I would just play and play and play. Anytime I had a chance or free time and was allowed to, I would play games, and I still do to this day. That's why I've created this channel, and just to share, the love of gaming with everyone. So, anyway, that is my first memory. I know it's a little short, but I mean everything about this game. I'll show you some footage here behind me playing, hopefully, and just I'm gonna end it with the opening music sequence because that game has never been topped. I think it's the perfect blend of gameplay, sound, music, and graphics. I've never found a game for me that has surpassed it in every category. So, alright, and that's my gaming memory for this video. And it happened to be my favorite game of all time. What are your guys' favorite game of all time? And also, what are some gaming memories that you have? Let me know down in the comments. I'd be happy to read them and respond to you. And let me know if you like the video. And don't forget to please comment, like, share, and subscribe. Every bit helps me out, and I appreciate everyone who supports me. And without any further ado, I leave you with the opening to Super Metroid. Enjoy. Peace.
The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace.